Welcome back to this Friday morning edition of Finger Lakes Today. I'm Jim Sinacropi along with Sydney Radka, and we're happy to be joined by Leann and Kevin Barton of the Social Restaurant and Taproom inside the historic Naples Hotel. New owners, they brought us plenty of food, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it smells amazing.
But also interested to hear the story behind how they became involved and what they're doing with that historic location that dates back to 1895.
1895, wow. Yeah, so we're going to officially welcome them in, and you guys are just going to tell us a little bit about how you got into this restaurant business and if you ever thought this is what you were going to do growing up.
Growing up. How you doing, guys?
Hi.
Thanks for making the drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it snowy or anything out your way? Or
It's starting to become snowy. Bristol Mountain is making their snow, so we live very close to the mountain, so we're starting to see that there. And then when you go into Naples, there's not as much snow there yet, but
we love Naples. We always talk about how beautiful Naples is. So.
I do love Naples, whether it's the Grape Fest or Reservoir Creek Golf Course or the restaurants downtown, the Great Pies. It's a place I like to go a couple times a year for sure, and I can't wait to stop in and have dinner at the Social.
Are you guys locals to Naples?
So we are transplants from Rochester,
Okay.
but we both like to ski, so we showed up at Lock Stock in 2019, and we kind of started working through that process. And we stumbled upon the hotel when I was looking for brunch one day after we were doing some projects at Lock Stock, and it hadn't been sold yet to the new owners, Tom and Destiny, but it was just at this place where they were getting ready to close down, and I remember thinking, this is so charming. It's such a shame that it looks like it's kind of on its last leg. And then COVID came, and we heard there were new owners, and someone forwarded me the message saying they were looking for restaurant proprietors. And I just messaged them on Facebook and said, hey, if you need any advice, let us know. We're local to the area as well. They're from Penfield, we're from Penfield. So it was kind of a cool serendipitous event there. And then that conversation became a leasing conversation, became a 14-month renovation, and we opened right before Grape Fest. So now we're finally open. It's been a long year and a half for everybody, and
Yeah, I bet.
we're just excited to tell everyone that we're open and let them know what we're offering.
How was the response when you first reopened, specifically from the community in Naples?
They've been very excited to see that it's open again. The renovation has been a very long and extensive renovation. The tap room's been completely redone, kitchen's been redone. And then the dining room has seen some updates as well, but we tried to keep some of the classic flair of the dining room, like the original wallpaper.
It looks really, really nice.
And the place had been closed since the summer of 2019, so we're going on almost 3 years now that there's been a gap in the community there.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. A lot of these older communities like Seneca Falls and Naples and a lot of the communities here in the Finger Lakes, they have an anchor building. So for us in Seneca Falls, it was the Gould Hotel. And when the Gould Hotel shut down, probably the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, it was not in operation for consecutive years. And it really is a drag on the entire downtown area. So, and the Naples Hotel is a similar anchor type of business and location for Naples. And so to have that come back and be revitalized, it's great. And you know, my thoughts on the Naples Hotel when I've been down there in the past few years is, you know, nice front porch, sometimes live music right out on the front porch, right? And great bar area, and now to have the restaurant renovated, and you did a great job of making it look new while still feeling old, you know, if you can know what I say. So what were the challenges in renovating the space to reopen?
Well, I took on a lot of the renovation, and it was a long process. We didn't know exactly what we were going to do. We knew that the kitchen needed a good makeover, but you know, you can't just close a place down and reopen with a new kitchen, even though it's great for the employees.
Right.
You know, you want to give your customers a sense of the feeling new in there. So we redid the bar top, we redid the floors and the ceilings, and you know, just pretty much every area that the building got touched in one way or another for the better. And you know, they got us to where we are today with it.
Yeah, it's 1895 is the cornerstone for the building. So when it came time, the nuts and bolts were up, and the paint and the wallpaper had to start happening. The conversation then shifted to, well, the era of the hotel is 1895. Let's do homage to that, essentially. And when you look, you get Edwardian, Victorian, Tiffany, and Art Deco are the four main design eras that you see within that. So when you walk into the hotel, the first thing that you'll see if you go straight ahead is the dining room, which represents our Victoria era. Beautiful crystal chandeliers with like a red damask velvet wallpaper.
Ooh.
And that's our fine dining room that's open Wednesday to Saturday night. And then when you go into the tap room, if you take a left-hand side coming into the hotel, you'll see the tap room. You walk right into the Gatsby Lounge, which has a humongous chandelier, sconces that match, the original bar work that was left there. So it has a very lounge feel that you would expect from a boutique hotel. And then when you walk into the tap room itself, there's a 30-foot mahogany bar there.
Wow.
And with beautiful leather chairs. We have an amazing mixologist on with us and an amazing management team in general. But you can get a lot of the classics at the bar. Negronis, classic dirty martinis. We have an espresso martini that's very popular right now. So you're getting to see a lot of martinis. We have martini night on Wednesdays for the ladies. And, well, we call it ladies night, but obviously anyone that would like to come enjoy a good classic martini is welcome. We do charcuterie boards on that night as well. We have an open mic night to pay homage to the music
Which,
at the hotel.
interesting enough, that bar room, it was featured in a prominent album cover in the 1970s.
Yeah, Bat McGrath.
Yep.
Wow.
His album cover has the Naples Hotel, and it recently actually just took front and center in our bar room by the jukebox. So when I was hanging it was kind of funny because I looked over to my left-hand side, I looked down the bar, which was the picture of Bat's album, and I was like, wow, look at the change. But it was just fun. You see the elk that's still there 45 years later, and the bar is original to it still. There's a spider plant up in the corner, and you'll see multiple spider plants throughout the tap room, kind of paying homage to those small details and things that we loved about the hotel. Despite not being local to the area, we do plan on putting roots down, so we're really trying to make sure that we can maintain that heritage for the community.
Yeah, really cool. I mean, when you talk about 1895, I can't help but, imagining horse and carriage,
That vibe,
driving by and hitching the horse to the post and going inside, and having dinner. And there's actually a pretty interesting advertisement on either your Facebook page or website for Thanksgiving dinner in 1895 or 1896 at the Naples Hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So that type of history, and then you throw in something like the Bat McGrath album, and there's probably dozens of more, little tidbits and stories when you have a
It has that haunted
location.
history.
Oh, it
is
does?
considered
Yep, it has
haunted?
a haunted
Yeah, haunted
history.
hotel.
So Halloween, we really get to see an influx of people that want to see paranormal activity, especially in the rooms, things like that. This year, we didn't get to play with it as much as we would like to, being newly open. But
Of course.
you'll be able to see more. We had card readers at our Halloween party this year, things like that. So we're starting to plan the spirits and the paranormal
Have
aspect
you
of it,
seen
too.
anything out of the ordinary in there?
We've had a couple weird experiences, but nothing that would really, make me too scared. My cell phone has went off and played music a few times when I'm the only one in the building, despite the cell phone being off.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a little creepy. I left pretty quickly afterwards.
Friendly
We've
ghosts,
had-
though, maybe.
They are. They seem very friendly. I was told
Invite
they were
them.
playful poltergeists, is what somebody
Oh,
told me.
okay.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll see some wine glasses kind of whip off of where they're hanging and
Yeah,
stuff
we-
like that, just to let us know they're there. But,
Yeah.
We've had glasses fall for no reason. My tools during construction would wind up in mysterious places that I wasn't even working in, which
Oh my
was strange.
God. See, I love that stuff. I'm a sucker for that stuff. So it seems like all the holidays you guys are going to be able to cover and do some cool things for people. And going into this holiday season already, you also have a space, right, that people can rent out for
Yes.
parties. Tell us a little bit more about that. Where is that located?
So in the basement of the hotel, there's a small speakeasy-esque kind of space that has its own bar that sits separate from our main bar upstairs. We use that currently as a event space. We'll do some speakeasy nights like Thanksgiving. We'll be opening for a speakeasy evening down in the basement. But we use it primarily for events. We see a lot of baby showers, bridal showers, small wedding rehearsals, things like that will come in. And then just a lot of community birthdays are coming up, but we're primarily focusing on the holiday season right now and booking those company parties, those business lunches. We're in a unique situation where being in the southern part of Canandaigua Lake, we offer multiple rooms that are very large, and we are fortunate enough to have the staff to be able to staff large parties. And a lot of people kind of shy away from that right now in a post-COVID era, but we're very fortunate that we can handle large parties well and do those catering events. So that's something that we really want to let people know we can do it. We are staffed for it, and we can do it well, and we have the space to
That's
do it.
amazing. You just reminded me when you said multiple rooms, didn't you guys renovate like 10 rooms in the actual hotel as well, upstairs or something like that?
We're renting the restaurant space from the owners, Tom and Destiny Silvisky.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And Tom and Destiny took on a lot of the brunt of that work
That
with the
part.
rooms, and they managed the rooms while we managed the restaurant.
Awesome.
They did go through and renovate all the rooms, really.
Every room has been renovated at this
Every
point.
room's been renovated. The
Jeez.
rooms on the second floor all had a theme. They had the Riesling room, the Cabernet room. They all
Delaware,
had a
Niagara.
very, very old and very comfortable feel to them that they tried to maintain throughout the
Awesome.
renovation process. The third floor had apartments that had been rented with the previous owner, so they deconverted those into suites, which allowed them to have a total of 10
Wow.
rooms in
great.
the building.
So if you've been there before, you haven't been there since everything has been redone, and it'll be a whole new vibe. And I mean, we do have some amazing smelling food sitting in
TJ
front of us.
Hess is your chef from Hammondsport?
Yep.
Yeah, that's great, and he prepared some.
Yeah, can you tell us about
Yeah,
what's
where
in
do
front
we
of us?
start here? Let's sample some food.
Let's do, you know,
Sure.
a fun
Um,
start.
with a bisque.
So we'll start with the lobster bisque.
Oh.
That is our lobster bisque. We also have a French onion soup that they partner together. You can have your choice of either. But our lobster bisque has fresh lobster
I'll start.
meat in it.
You start first. Okay. It smells amazing. I wish people could smell how good this smells. And
Right.
I mean, it is only 9:42 in the morning, but like this
Dig
is
in.
a perfect breakfast. Lobster
We'll leave
bisque
some for you guys.
is one of my favorite too. So when you guys told me that's what you were bringing, I was like, no problem. I will try that. I don't want to get it all over me, so let
Well, be
me
careful then.
let me have the space.
And they have a very rich breakfast today.
Oh my goodness.
I love lobster bisque, and you can tell with the first bite of a lobster bisque if it's really
Yeah.
lobster bisque. And this is, you got the, I don't know if it's the sherry, the buttery richness of it.
Our sherry comes from Hammondsport.
Oh, no
so
good.
it's Pleasant Valley.
Pleasant Valley, yeah.
Yep. So
Oh, yeah.
where we can nod to the local communities and the Finger Lake communities, we are. And we're hoping to
Beautiful.
build upon that long term. Being a new business, we're still kind of playing with what works as
Yeah, there's a
business
lot
owners
of
and as a
options
restaurant.
available to you in Naples, and Pleasant Valley being one of them. That's also
Yep.
a historic, one of like the original.
I believe on the liquor license, it's 001. They're the first ones
Wow.
to
Isn't
that
establish their
crazy?
New York State liquor license. So
That's awesome.
That's a cool piece of history to know.
We always love, of course,
I want
when
to try the other stuff, but first I'm gonna.
Jim's just gonna eat this rest of the time while you guys talk. So, like you mentioned, you do have the fine dining, but it's not all week. It's Wednesday through Saturday.
Yep, Wednesday to
correct?
Saturday night.
With a steak and seafood focus.
Oh my, yeah, I saw some of those menu items. Do you guys have a favorite that's on that menu?
Oh, I mean, steak and lobster, of course.
Right.
But for us, I think going out, that's what we like to do. And the rare occasion we get to go out, we want to be able to have, those nicer meals. And we kind of felt like that was lacking in the southern part of Canandaigua's hamlet.
Right.
So that's what we wanted to bring to town. And that's what I expect to see in a boutique hotel when I go in
Yeah.
other places. So we're hoping to kind of bring that in.
This
But
is an 11 out of 10, by the way.
also, the pepper deli is a fast favorite, and you guys have that there as well.
Wow.
But the ahi tuna,
Let's
is-
go next to that.
Okay.
And it's not
yeah.
just the dinner menu, in the dining room. We have a tap room menu that's
Just as amazing.
It's going to be bar food that people are looking for with the burgers and chicken sandwiches. It's also our lunch menu right now, and that's available 7 days a week whenever we're open.
I wouldn't
So-
even say it's much of a bar menu, because when I think of bar menu, I think of like mozzarella sticks and chicken wings
Yeah.
and things like this, and it was a little bit heightened. And you have, so I saw like the different dips, the different soups, the different types of food that I would see on a regular menu as well. So it's like just a little bit higher up than the bar menus I'm used to
Freaking great,
seeing.
yeah.
Let me
yeah,
try
we're
it.
trying to kind of play with both. We want to stay with that steak and seafood concept as best as we can, but also we know that there's a comfort food in that bar familiarity that
Absolutely.
people are looking for. So it's an open concept for us. It's not set in stone. This is our first run on a menu, but so far it's been very well received by the people that have come in, and we're hoping just to bring a little extra flavor to the community.
I would
Like
like
a-
to say sometimes Jim is a little bit of a food snob, and I say that every now and then. And I can just tell that like everything is perfect for you right now.
Yeah, the lobster bisque was really the best I've maybe ever had in my life. And
I know.
that's great too.
This is perfect.
What percentage of your clientele so far has been like local versus traveler?
I would say it's primarily local right now. Outside of Grape Festival, where we had a little bit more of a tourist
Right.
environment, we're seeing more of the local community coming in.
Where are you going?
It's been a really fun vibe just to see people come in and reacquaint with it. We had a table of 6 ladies earlier yesterday that came in, and you could just hear them at the table reminiscing about their experiences. They're sipping on, we have Prosecco on tap, so they're sipping on Prosecco.
Oh, on tap.
And they're just really enjoying themselves. Like, this has come so far, the 70 years we've been visiting.
Oh my goodness.
And
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing that's really fun. But we're excited to have the local community coming back in and sharing those stories with us.
Of course.
But I really think that Rochester, this is a gem for them too. If they want to come skiing in
Yeah.
the wintertime and then come visit us because they want something more hearty, they can do that. Stay in Naples. There's plenty of amazing places to stay. But to offer more of that rich
What is,
Rochester experience.
have you gotten any feedback or cooperation from the other business owners and restaurant owners in Naples?
The Naples Rotary has had their holiday party with us, so they've been very supportive. Explore Naples is a local group that focuses on really the tourism aspects of Naples. They've been phenomenal. They housed their winter happy hour with us, which is more like a business powwow about what we're going to do into the new season. So the business have been very excited to see something new come in, I think, and it's been very warm and welcoming. I couldn't feel more at home if I tried. So.
Well,
And
hopefully,
we're still
so
getting to know people too.
Yeah.
We're the new
Of course.
restaurant, and we've met a handful of the owners. We look forward to meeting the rest of them.
I get down to Naples, like I say, once or twice a year. I really look forward to it. It's a nice drive. And again, try to convince some of our listeners maybe from up here in the north central Finger Lakes to make that, 45-minute drive, not even, down to Vine Valley. And,
Oh, this is good. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm cutting you right off.
This is beef stroganoff, or?
That
It's
is the
short
pepper
rib,
deli.
right?
Yep, it's a short rib pepper deli.
Oh my, so this is more of a main menu item that you
This
would
comes
have.
off
It's
of
an
our
entree.
fine dining entrees.
It is so good. And we have to remind people that they have traveled all the way from Naples to Seneca Falls, and it has traveled so well.
You wouldn't know, it's great.
Yeah, it feels like it just came out, which is amazing. Did you guys ever think that you would be owning a tap room and fine dining? Was that anything you had in your plans growing up?
Well, not for me particularly. I went to school at RIT for hotel restaurant management, so it is kind of in the same wheelhouse.
When did you graduate from RIT? What year?
From RIT 2003.
Awesome.
I spent a lot of time in RIT in the mid to early 1990s,
Yeah.
so I might have just missed you. Do you remember Colony Manor Apartments?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, yeah. I do too.
Don't date yourself, Jim.
So we got into owning our own restaurant. We opened up Lock, Stock Bar and Grill that's next to Bristol Mountain.
Oh, okay.
And we moved from Rochester down to Bristol. I grew up in Dansville, so I was kind of familiar with the area. And then, like Leeann explained, that the opportunity presented itself, and we just thought it was a great idea and a little bit different than what I was used to doing an Americana,
Right.
family restaurant. It was time to branch out
Yeah,
and grow a little bit.
this is
Kind of
awesome.
take roots into the community there in Ontario County.
Everything is just unbelievable.
11 out of 10. Everything that we have tried today, 11 out of 10. And this is just the smallest, tiniest portion of what you can get on their menu.
Well, also my perception in Naples, everybody knows them for the great pies. I always bring home great pies and freeze them. But I think, it lends itself to become a bit of like a foodie destination now. I've eaten at the Roots Cafe before. I don't know if you ever had dinner at the Roots.
they're very good.
That's great. You guys are fantastic. There's some more of the regulars like the Mom and Pop Diner at the intersection.
We have Caruso's Cafe, which is right across the street from us. There's Old School Cafe across from Roots, and they're both delicious. They've done a really good job the last couple of years. I think Naples has seen 8 new businesses open right after
That's
COVID.
amazing.
So
Fantastic.
their community leaders have done a very good job making businesses feel welcome. But every business they've brought in has been, I think, a perfect niche in addition to their community. So
Awesome,
we
yeah.
hope to add to that.
Yeah, if you're from, like I say, from up here in the north central part of the Finger Lakes, it's worth the drive. If you're anywhere within, 20 minutes, it should be a regular stop
Right.
for dinner. Or again, I like the golf course there. I like strolling through downtown while everybody's raking their leaves and selling great pies. It's just really a great
Christmas time, it'll
slice
feel
of
like
'em.
Hallmark vibes, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm all about
They have a
Naples.
Light Up Naples event December 10th that the
Awesome.
community kind of is starting to really embrace that winter wonderland kind of feel. So if you are looking to travel down, that's a great weekend to do it. The weekend before, I think, is their sip and shop. So
Awesome. Yeah, it's that
there's a lot
time
of
already.
opportunity in December to come visit the town and see what they have to offer still.
So you guys really are just like getting your feet in the door. It's super exciting. I'm sure everybody in Naples is going to rally behind you. And once they try this food too, I feel like they're going to be instantly hooked. Can you tell us how people can find you on social media so they can learn more about you?
We have a very active and accurate Facebook page right now. We are working on our website design with FLX websites, but right now it's primarily our Facebook has all of
Okay.
our events and what we have going on. Check the events there, and everything's accurate with our hours. So
Awesome.
we keep a pretty tight pulse on our social media presence, and that's where I would send people if they were looking.
Great.
The food is amazing. You guys mind hanging out after the break? We got one more segment. We're going to bring Felicia in. She prepared a full Thanksgiving dinner last night for Friendsgiving, and
Sure
we're going to
did.
hear how that went before we get out of here. And that way we can still keep munching on this food.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It was
Thank
so
you so
nice to
much.
meet you guys, and I wish you nothing but the best. I'm super excited to come and actually eat there instead of coming to our
I'm
studio.
100% going to be making it a point to
Oh,
come
we
down.
know. We know. Jim will become a regular.
That
for
lobster
sure.
bisque will get you.
Absolutely. It really was the best one I've had.
So when we return, we'll take one more look at this weekend's weather forecast. We'll have our own Felicia Dombrowski in to talk about how her Friendsgiving celebration went last night. You were there, right?
I sure was.
And we'll rate her food.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Okay.
That'll be good for her.
All right, we'll be right back.